questions you guys have for me?
Stan, so just looking kind of noticed last night, last year, you guys never had a short week.
Yeah.
I'm sure the coaches have had short weeks throughout the career. You got a ton of players who've never had this short week. How much of a challenge is that for those guys?
Well, it's the same challenge that Tulsa has. You know, they're coming on a short week as well. So, you know, the challenge is to make sure that we don't make it an excuse, you know, not to make it an issue. And our players have done a great job of just focusing in on the things that we need to prepare and when we see Tulsa, but also to kind of fix some of the things that we had to repair from the Miami game. You know, so yeah, it's just it's the same for, you know, same issue that Tulsa is facing, and neither team could use that as an excuse.
How are you doing with your 400 starters that didn't play Saturday? How are those guys doing?
Yeah, we're day by day. You know, we're day by day. I think those guys are on the right track, and you know, we'll see.
Kind of building off that question, what's this week going to look like compared to a normal week of practice with these 2 less days of prep?
Well, we've already had 2 days of work. You know, we're going into another day tomorrow, and you know, we'll make the day before we travel or the day of travel the same. You know, keep them in the routine that way. Yeah, we took the pass off of them a little bit and kind of got intentional about some fundamentals and techniques of things that we need to work on. You know, but you know, I thought our players responded well to the small adjustments. They didn't feel anything. You know, again, it's like if you make it a big issue, it becomes an issue. You know, we got work to do, and we have goals for ourselves. So I really do like the way our players respond to the adjustment of whatever schedule that we have to put ourselves in.
Stan, what did you, after watching film, what did you think of your offensive line? Obviously, you guys didn't move the ball running it, but that's maybe the best front, one of the best fronts you'll face all season.
Yeah,
considering the youth on the left side of the line, when you had a chance to watch it in detail, how they do.
You know, here's the deal. They fought, right, and they gave really good effort. I think that we played against a very good defensive line. They were strong, they were big, and they were fast. You know, they were very twitchy. And, you know, for the most part, you know, we gave up the 3 sacks. We didn't run the football, so it's hard to say that we did a good job, okay? But within the plays, I didn't think that there was quit in them, you know? So there was a little matchup issue there that we had to deal with, and, you know, and give that credit to Miami. You know, they're recruiting at a totally different level. They have a caliber of football players that I would love to have here, you know, but we're just not quite there yet. And, you know, we're in the building phase of this program in year 2, and, you know, I hope that in the near future we'll be able to be competitive against teams like that.
You talked about after the record game how a lot of your leadership and players responded after and led the way, responding after that loss. How do you guys respond since the last 2 days coming off the loss?
Yeah, we're getting ready for conference break, so, you know, we have to flush that game and get ourselves ready to win. You know, get ourselves in position to try to win a conference championship, an American Conference Championship, and that's been our goal from day one, and it will be, you know, my whole entire time here. You know, we'll chase that goal, and in order to do that, you have to overcome adversity, right? You have to, you know, be able to take a win, take a loss, and process it and move on to the next game. It's one game at a time, one day at a time mentality that we have to embrace.
So, you know, Diego had that false start inside the 10 right at the end of the second quarter.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if I don't know if that's such a sin that you know, he then doesn't play in the second half.
No, you know, you know, we talked about it. They were stemming their fronts. They played 3 different fronts in that game, you know, and, you know, there was a lot of processing that had to take place before the ball was snapped, a lot of communication that had to take place, and he just got caught in that moment. You know, obviously you don't want to see that ever. It hurts us when it happens in the red zone for sure, you know, but no, we, you know, Diego, I think if you had the microphone in front of Diego, if you talk more than just that false start, Diego knows he needs to play better, period. You know, we need better execution out of the entire team that way. And one thing taken from that game is, you know, we did not, you know, bring our fundamentals and technique to that football game, you know, and, you know, he struggled in that respect like everybody else did. So, you know, we're always trying to put the best people out there on the football field that can handle the moment, that can, you know, provide the type of execution that we need to give ourselves a chance to be competitive. And, you know, that dog had his bad day that day, you know, but we're not giving up on Diego.
What challenges does Tulsa present you guys this week?
Well, you know, that their coach, they take on the personality of their head football coach. I know him very well. You know, he produces tough football teams. They play with high effort. They're very physical, and that's what it is. You know, it's a conference football game, and you know they're going to be ready to play. I'm sure they have the same goals as we do. You know, so it's going to be will against will, but we got to prepare ourselves for a team that strains, a team that plays to the whistle, and a very physical football team.
You know, they had those big damaging running backs last year.
Yeah.
I don't know if these guys are quite that, you know, they don't
I don't know if
look
they're
quite the same, but
I don't know if they're as big, but I mean, the number 6 now is a legit 10 300-meter, you know, track runner. So if we, you know, slip up and miss a gap on that kid, he can hit the home run just like those Miami backs can hit a home run from anywhere on that football field. So, yeah, I mean, they're different, just like we're different. But again, the personality of that football team from a physicality standpoint has enhanced, in my opinion, with Kevin at the helm. And you know, we just got to be ready for everything. You know, they're going to play their butts off, and we need to match that and exceed that.
how about the quarterback, assuming it's a freshman who's going to be there?
Yeah, they've played quite a few quarterbacks this year. I don't know what's going on there. I know number 7, the last couple of games has been their starter, and he's a dual threat, a real dual threat. He can run, and he's very athletic, shifty, he can change direction. We do a lot of quarterback runs with him. So that left side of that offensive line is as good as any, and they got a right tackle that's 345 pounds at 6'5". You know, I mean, they're pretty big, and they're transfers from Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, which I'm very familiar with those 2 programs and their offensive lines. And you know, if there are any indication of the programs that they're coming from, they're going to be good football players. So yeah, we got to challenge us in the trenches again, and but our guys got to step up and meet that challenge.
Stan, after sleeping on it and watching film, what should we just take away from the Miami game?
I'm not really thinking about Miami anymore. I mean, just the same thing I keep telling you about, our fundamentals and techniques. If we continue to play with that level of execution in that respect that we did against Miami, then we won't meet the goals that we're trying to attain. So we just need to get better in those areas.
Without Jalen on Saturday, how did you think the corners played and what they need to do moving forward?
Not bad. You know, we still gave us some explosives. I think our safeties need to play better. I think that's where we need to kind of really lock in and focus. I mean, the corners, you know, they're on an island out there, and you got to live with some explosive plays. You can teach those guys to have amnesia when they have an issue out there, because they're playing one of the toughest positions on defense, right? And but our safety play needs to improve.
How's Alex doing after Saturday?
Alex is fine. He hasn't missed a day of practice, and he's got the right mindset. He's a leader. So he's a tough kid.
You know, depth up front, I saw Darkwa was dressed on Saturday. I mean, I think for the first time this year. Wonder if he can help out, and Trask now maybe he's been there for a month, where those 2 guys might be able to, you know, get close to provide you some quality.
Yeah, you know, we just got to be smart with Darkwa. You know, he's been out for quite a bit, but he was available for us on Saturday. He'll be available for us this Thursday. And, you know, the more depth that we can have at D-line, it helps, right? I mean, we're pretty depleted there early part of the season, and to get 2 guys like a Chevy transferring from the offensive line and putting forth the effort that he's putting forth right now, and the intentional approach to his preparation every week. He is getting better every week, but to have a big body like Darkwa available to us is something that we're excited about, and you know, we expect him to play a lot of football for us on Thursday.
With Zay, he was very much targeted, had a couple catches on the first drive, and then kind of was quiet for the rest of the game. Is there something he had to do better, or is it just the play calling not allowing him to?
No, we got to protect the quarterback. He had 3 sacks and some hits that took place when the ball was delivered, and you know, I think the wind gust was 30 to 40 miles an hour at times, right? You know, that makes it real tough in the throw game. So it's not all on Zay. Zay didn't do anything wrong to not earn more touches, you know, but there was a lot of factors that were in play.
What are you seeing from the right side of your line? The left side has obviously gone through a lot of changes and injuries with Wiz at right guard and Victor at right tackle. How do you think they played, you know, last week and then maybe over these last couple of weeks?
Not good enough. Not good enough, and they know it, you know, and they take pride in, taking constructive criticism in that respect. They receive it very well, and I expect them to play better.
You like how Xavier Irvin contribute, coming along, and
Yeah, he's coming. Again, he's still a freshman in a lot of ways. And we got to teach him how to prepare better. There's no doubt he loves football, right? But he makes a lot of freshman mistakes, and when you play freshmen, you're hoping that they're not going to make too many freshman mistakes, right? You want them to play above their classification in the classroom, but that's going to show up from time to time with X. But he's a tough individual. He's playing on special teams a lot. He adds value that way for this football team, and he's earned the right to give it a shot on offense from time to time. And the more he continues to be intentional about his development, the more we'll see him play.
I had asked last week about tight ends, and then did maybe Miami take away DMR better than anybody? He didn't get a target. It didn't seem like.
It's a lot of the tight end game comes off the run game. You know what I mean? And when you don't get that established, and you're playing 8-man fronts, and things of that sort, it makes it really tough to really lock into tight end play, right? But no, they're always going to be heavy in our game plan. The situation needs to present itself.
I saw Steve Spurrier Jr. is on their staff. I don't know if you know the old ball coach very well. Or?
I know the old ball coach. I don't know his son, but I hear he's a good dude.
Okay.
All right.